Tonight, the family of one of Jeffrey Epstein's most well-known survivors is calling on President Trump for more information about his knowledge of Epstein. Virginia Giuffre's family issued a statement saying they were shocked at the president's admission that Epstein stole workers from Mar-a-Lago, including Giuffre. They're now questioning whether the president knew about the sex trafficking of Epstein and his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. Investigative reporter Terry Parker joining us. And Terry, you reported yesterday on Trump's new explanation of why his friendship with Epstein ended years ago.
I sure did, Felicia. Trump saying for the first time that he ended it because he said Epstein was poaching spa workers from Mar-a-Lago, including Virginia Giuffre. And she actually died by suicide this year. Now, what we're going to do is give you a timeline of Trump and Epstein's friendship before Trump says he ended it.
November 1992. Video shows Trump with Epstein laughing and talking at a Mar-a-Lago party. December 1993. Epstein attends Trump's wedding to Marla Maples. Photographs obtained by CNN show. 1993 to 1997. Trump takes at least 8 flights on Epstein's private jet, according to flight logs released by the Department of Justice. 1997. Trump was photographed with Epstein at a Victoria's Secret's Angels party. Epstein was also photographed with Trump at Mar-a-Lago that year. 2000, Trump and Melania were photographed with Epstein and Maxwell at Mar-a-Lago. Also in 2000, 16-year-old Virginia Giuffre works at Mar-a-Lago as a locker room attendant. She claimed Ghislaine Maxwell recruited her from there to work as a masseuse trainee for Epstein. October 2002, Trump tells New York Magazine that Epstein is a, quote, terrific guy, and that they have known each other for 15 years. Quote, he's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. 2004, Trump and Epstein reportedly had a falling out after a competition to purchase a Palm Beach mansion called Maison de la Amitié, according to the Washington Post. 2007, Trump allegedly banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after Epstein allegedly hit on another member's daughter. July 9, 2019, Trump says in the Oval Office that he hasn't spoken to Epstein in 15 years and that the two had a falling out. He declines to say why they stopped talking.
I don't think I've spoken to him for 15 years. I wasn't a fan.
July 12, 2019. Trump said on the White House South Lawn, yes, and I did have a falling out after a long time ago. The reason doesn't make any difference, frankly, but I haven't spoken to him in probably 15 years or more. I wasn't a big fan of Jeffrey Epstein, that I can tell you. July 28, 2025. Trump said that his relationship with Epstein soured because Epstein poached some employees after he explicitly warned him not to do so. July 29, 2025. Trump suggests he had a falling out with Epstein after he, quote, stole employees from the Mar-a-Lago spa, including Virginia Giuffre.
And Virginia Giuffre's family is also urging President Trump not to consider giving Ghislaine Maxwell a pardon. Maxwell is cooperating right now with the Department of Justice to trying to find out more about who used Epstein's sex trafficking ring. The family says, though, any pardoning of Maxwell would be, quote, one of the highest travesties of justice in history. Trump has not indicated that he is considering a pardon. But if you'd like to see more of this timeline we've put together, go to WPBF.com. We've got much more than we were able to show you just now on the screen. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.